generally a positive culture is tried to be created and a challenging one. So in terms of my methods, I really try and make the sessions as hard as possible for them because I want the games to be easy. There's no point in putting sessions on that are really, really easy, loads of success. They don't learn to deal with failure. They don't show any resilience in training. So when they come to a game and it's more of a test, they don't know what to do. So I like to have high intensity sessions, hard work sessions, where it really tests players. But it's all about building that culture and that environment for players to flourish and feel comfortable enough to step up. Because ideally we want to get them up to the senior level if they're good enough to do that. We like to play out from the back, play proper football. We follow the senior team's methods, which is a 3-2-1. So it's quite a wide three at the back, 2 in midfield and 1 up front. We like to play from the back, like to play through the thirds, and then we play our players really high up as a number 9, because there's no offsides in CP football. So we like to make use of that, and we used to try and get an overload in midfield. So everybody in every position needs to be comfortable with the ball. So as many possession sessions so we can do, technical sessions, it really improves them on the pitch, and as much gameplay as we can get, whether that's games between ourselves, against other oppositions, or friendlies against other nations, it really helps us to work on that style of play. Keep playing, keep playing. Good, use your goalkeeper, well done, well done. The game is pretty much played sometimes like a diamond. So you've almost got some width there, you've got a centre forward who plays really high, and you've got that sort of pivot player. That pivot player may be the last defender, or it could be a midfield player. And what I want to try to create is opportunities for players to make decisions on when to play through and penetrate, and then when that ball goes up to the centre forward, for example, what support he has around him. But if you're playing against a team that's maybe compact and they stop you playing through, what other options are there? Okay, how can we go around? How can we go over the press? So it's lots of small-sided stuff building up to gameplay. Those 3 decisions, can we go through? If we can't go through, can we go around? If we can't go around, can we go over? So that the players are really, really educated on the ways we can do it. And it comes from a small environment, small pitches, no real pressure, building all the way through to gameplay. That's what we try and do as much as possible. We try and think about their disabilities as an advantage in many ways, and what positions could they be best in. For example, a goalkeeper might be more impaired in some ways, so they might have their legs more impaired, but their hands are absolutely fine, so they can jump around, save shots. They've got big throws. Okay, they don't have to run around too much. So we just try and make it relevant to the positions that they play in terms of their disability and how it impairs them. But in terms of their coaching, I coach them as footballers. They are just footballers, and I want to improve them as much as possible. But I'd say one sport that I have watched quite a lot of to try and improve my coaching in the CP game is futsal. Because of the no offside rules, because you can get so close to the goal. You have a bounce player as well, and they use the rotations really well. And we try and aspire to be as good as the Russians and the Ukrainians, and that's something they do so well. So it's something that we're looking to bring into our programme more and more, is futsal. But I think they all sort of correlate quite well, and they all go together really, really well. And it's really helped me as a coach to work with 11-a-side game and 7-a-side game, because there's bits I can use in both forms of the game, which can really help my coaching, and more importantly, really help the players that I work with. Just be here, son. Just be here in this area. Yeah, play into me. Where can you go? So it could be there to Sol, back to Ethan, but you need that central point. All right, you need that central point.
To be honest, I think Jack's fantastic. I think the work that he does just shows the experience he's had in the game. That can really be relatable for us because he's been there, he's done that in terms of CP football. So for us to have that role model to look up to, and that experience and that knowledge to have with us, has been fantastic.
So what am I looking for from one player when you've got the ball? One attacking player. So today we've worked on sort of creating the attack, trying to create goal scoring opportunities, making use of the overloads, because we've only got 8 players. Okay, so it's small-sided stuff. If we would have had, say, 14 players today, we'd have played games. Loads of small-sided games, 4v4s with players on the outside, 7v7s, but fortunately we've got trialists coming in this afternoon. We're going to be able to play a game in a game environment, and I might step in and show some things during a game. Always got to protect your shins. Oh, it's gone in, 1-0, well done, from you Fred, from you, 1-0. The transition from being a player to a coach, it's been challenging in many ways. I started coaching when I was still playing for the England team, obviously 11-a-side at university level, Gloucester University, and I found it really, really tough. I thought it'd be so easy because I understand the game, and if I could go into coaching, it'll be really, really easy. And I realised as soon as I've got 14 people looking at me, I'm in charge of the whole session. It was challenging, it was tough. But after doing a few years of that, I got a little bit better. I did my level 2, I did my B licence, that gave me more confidence and more knowledge. But obviously with the CP stuff, I played in it. I captained the team, played for 5 years, was part of the senior leadership group, and I'd watched all 3 managers intensely. I watched everything they did, and I took all the good bits from them, and I thought, right, how can I apply that to my own coaching? So I think I understand the game, I know the game, I know what sort of sessions work for the players, and I know the impairment, I know how it affects each player. So I feel that really gives me an advantage when it comes to coaching a CP game. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to play again. Cam just over here. Play. Don't, if it's not on. Take the shot then. Play on. Can you get that? When you play in sport, you're constantly using important life skills, resilience, coming back from setbacks. You obviously have a passion, hard work, being part of a team, showing respect. And I've tried to transition those skills into other parts of my work. But I think what you need more than ever as a coach, rather than maybe so much as a player, is patience. You have to be patient, and you're not just taking charge of yourself, you're not just responsible for yourself, you're responsible for everybody, and you can't treat everybody the same. For me, you've got to get to know the person first before you can improve the player. So I spend time trying to chat to the players one-on-one, a little bit of background, check on their family, what's their home situation, who they're playing for, just generally have a little chat with them about normal day-to-day things. Once I get a grasp of what they're like as a person, I feel like I can try and get my sessions to a certain way that can obviously engage all of the players to reach their potential on the pitch.
Yeah, I've learned from Jack massively, especially with him coming through our years with his attack and then coming into CP football. He's played both 11-a-side and 7-a-side, so being able to relate to him, especially doing everything he's done, captained, played big games, he's played games that he's lost, he's played games that he's won, and especially with the Paralympics, it's good to be able to relate to someone and someone say that's how you deal with this pressure, that's how you deal with this, and especially just having CP saying that's how you deal with this in life, not just on and off the pitch.
Try not to get so fixated with the ball. So imagine your man marking that person there, ball man. You're always between the goal and the man. All right, but it's not bad. Keep moving the ball around, keep the ball. I think it's important that every player knows that it's okay not to be okay. And I talked about the environment that I wanted to create when I'm working with players, so it's nice and open. I want them to be able to approach me and tell me, I've got something going on at home, I'm not feeling too good today. And if I can't help them, we've got a psychologist who can. It's so important that first and foremost, their health and well-being is taken care of. Now, playing sport itself helps that, which is absolutely brilliant. But when they're away from home, they might be missing home, missing their dog, I don't know. And it's important that their mental health is taken care of. And I'm glad that it's in the media now. I'm glad that people are talking about it, because people will always see somebody with like an injury that's like an ACL injury and go, oh, they've got an injury. Whereas they don't always see mental health the same. Mental health is exactly the same. For you to be able to do your job, you need to get your mental health right. So it's fantastic that things are in place at the FA to support players when they're playing and also when they're not playing as well. So it's great to see the game progressing that way. And it's definitely helped me massively. I used to worry about things all the time and get really down and depressed. But just having the psychologist at England, Jamie Barker, to talk to, feeling open and confident enough to talk to other players about issues that I had and management staff, it really helped me to release that pressure, release that burden, so I could hopefully do the business on the pitch, which more often than not I think I hopefully did, and now I've got to do it as a coach and manager. New challenge for me.